blown a piston ring land out of it. Apparently it was rebuilt not so long ago. It hasn't got a lead-free conversion. The crank is in a little bit of a mess. Ideally it needs a grind. There's a funny piston ring gap there. I don't know if that's been caused by the rings butting up with temperature, and that's what's caused the piston rings to the piston ring land to crack and break away. I think that's what it is. I don't think whoever built this gap to the piston rings, they probably just assumed that they bought the piston and the gap was enough. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I didn't build it, but either way, it's smashed to bits. It could be done with ignition. It could have been pre-ignition that's caused that, but I don't think so. I think it's more the piston ring butting up and having nowhere to go apart from blow the piston ring land out of it. So I've invited my customer down to talk about options of repairing it properly, doing a lead-free conversion on it. Yeah, you see it's even broke the second land on that. So yeah, I've got a sneaky feeling that was due to a gap. It's meant to be relatively a fresh rebuild, but it is in such a state, so I don't think they cleaned it properly. If it was a proper rebuild, this always makes me laugh. It's got a ported cylinder head on it, and then somebody's put a standard gasket on it, so it's got a huge lip there. But it's definitely going to need a rebore. There we are. Oh yeah, so one of the jobs that I've got in today is Lancia Delta Integrale cylinder head, which is it's burnt the valve seat and damaged the valve seat. So you see the damage there. It's damaged the cylinder head in the seat, so I'm gonna take the seat out, grind the aluminium back so it's something good to weld, get it up to temperature, alley weld it, and then remachine it all back and cut the seats again. So I'll record that. To take this valve seat out, there's various ways you can get valve seats out, but when it's just one seat that's damaged and I've got to weld up, I don't really need to be that delicate. So what I'm going to do is with a high-speed die grinder. This is one of Snap-on's new brushless range. I wouldn't use one of these for gas flowing, but for doing jobs like this, it's just nice and easy. Take it straight to the bench. So for this, I'm just going to grind through the seat until it cracks and tidy it up. Hopefully that's all out now. It should just break out. There we go. So that's the valve seat out. So now I just need to grind up round here, all the way around here and everything, and then get some temperature into it. It's quite a deep seat, so that might be one that I need to order. Don't know. I'll have to have a measure up in a moment. So now once again with the die grinder, just a bit of oil on the carbide there. And then, so while that's in the wash, just to clean any of the more of the carbon off it and get the temperature up a little bit, I'll get the TIG welder ready for welding aluminium, because the last job I did was Sam's seat mounts with it. So yeah, over to the cleaner, and then reset the TIG welder. I'm doing the Integrale cylinder head repair, which I showed you getting the seat out the other day. So it's all ground up. I've got it up to temperature. Nice and hot now, so I'll set this up so it could be seen welded, if I can, that is. I've just ground out some of the weld to just try and neaten it all off. It drew quite a lot of dirt out the aluminium at the start, which isn't good, so yeah, it needs to be a lot better than that. The Integrale head's all welded up. I've ground it back, cleaned it all up, so now I've got to remachine the valve seat bore to fit a valve seat, so that's what I'll do next. Right, so I have initially bored out the seat just to take the first bit of weld out. I haven't touched the seat of the seat boss. That's the seat that I'm gonna fit. This is a sintered steel lead-free seat, so the first thing to do is take down the measurements to work out my clearance and everything. So first thing I've done is just been and recalibrated the micrometer. Like I said in a previous vlog, I do that every time I use the mic, just to make sure that nothing's moved on it. Then measure the seat on the outside diameter. I measure it in two places, so there and then at 90 degrees from there. That's it. So then I make a note of the size. The Lancia Delta cylinder head is finished now. I've just got to wash it, but I've just skimmed it. It was actually quite badly warped. It was low here, here, and here. So I've taken how much was it? 11 thou off that, but there you can see the repair. This is the seat that I've replaced. You can tell because it's a little bit wider than the original one. I've had to cut all the seats just to make sure that the heat from the TIG welder didn't distort them. So yeah, they're all good. Yeah, quick wash, and then the customer's coming out to get it. I've also blended the seat where the head has been ported at some stage. I've just blended the seat back into the porting as well. So yeah, another job done. On to the next. Right, so one of the jobs that's come in is from Land Rover garage in Reading, specialist garage, which is basically pressure test and reface these V8 Range Rover cylinder heads, so, and give them a wash. So I've switched the heater on the wash tank. I'll get them out and record them being refaced. So refacing and pressure testing, or pressure testing and refacing the Range Rover heads, the first thing I do is to remove any dowels that stick above the head face. I have a quick look round it, make sure there's no switches that are above the head face or that are in the way that looks like I might damage them. Also check for burrs along here, because when mounting it to the head skimmer, if there's any burrs, it just tilts the head, rocks the head, so it won't skim properly. So I just run over it with a really fine file to check that. So do that now. No pressure on it, just making sure there's no rough edges. Then what I do is I've got two forms of checking the heads for cracks. The first and the quickest way is on this. This is closed cell foam. It's quite a special foam. I've tried other makes, but the only stuff that seems to work properly is the actual make of the vac kit. You just give it a layer of oil. It seems to like that to want it to seal. And then just make sure there's no dirt on it. You can always feel it with the edge of that. You can hear it and feel it. So that's fine. Then it's important to check the head face, because it won't like this dirt either. So I'll give that a clean up with a flat block with both cylinder heads. I'll just put it down. So, whoops. This also takes off any burrs if there is any. That's it, it's quite nice and clean now. So just a case of plunking it down there. Then this is the kit in here for using it. The other thing it likes is the pads to be oil, so I just run them on top of the sealing pad of that. So the next thing it is just plug the airline in. and then you let it build vacuum until the gauge doesn't pull any more vacuum. Disconnect the airline, we've got this. And then what I'll do is I'll leave that on there and see if it moves, see if it drops any. The Range Rover head, the first one, has been on the vac tester for 10 minutes. Good news about that is it hasn't lost any vacuum at all. It's probably been on there a bit longer than that actually, probably 20 minutes. While I've been waiting for that to make sure it's not leaking, I've prepped the surface of the second head, and I've just had a bit of a tidy up as well. So I'll get the second head on the vac tester and then mount this on the pressure tester ready to go. The first cylinder head is now on the head skimmer. I'll show that in a sec. So what I've done is put the second cylinder head onto the vac tester. So the idea is to vac that up, which I have done, and then while I'm skimming the first cylinder head and getting that ready to go in the cleaner, that can be vac testing. So as you saw straight away, I made sure there was no burrs on the rocker face. I'm using my Comec RP330 head refacer with the diamond bit installed. I've made sure that there's no dowels in it, no sensors sticking above that the diamond will wipe out. I've also checked to make sure that these inlet valves are sitting just below the head face. So I've trued the cylinder head up to make sure that it's cutting straight away from here, and from here I'm going to put the guard up. And then this has two speeds, a slow and a fast. When I'm using the diamond I can use the fast. So this is the wheel that lowers the cutter to the cylinder head, so I'm just going to bring it on a bit. And then while I'm just making sure it's skimming all the way across, I don't put it into kind of any auto feed, and I'm being quite rough on the cut. So as that was going across, I could straight away see that the head is banana shaped slightly, because it's cutting perfect here, it's cutting perfect here, but it's not cutting very well here across the cylinder head. Only by, what's that, 3 thou, so I'll take another thou off it. And all I'm looking for is it to clean all the way across. Perfect. So now I'm going to give it its final cut. So I lock the machine into gear, I put it onto auto, and then that just engages the motor at the back, so it's one consistent speed across the head face. In aluminium. Then once this has gone all the way across this, what I'll do is put this in the cleaner while I'll skim the second cylinder head. The Diamond makes a really cracking job of the finish. So both heads have been crack tested, they've both been skimmed, I've taken the same amount off both heads. They've both been through the wash for 2 hours. All I've got to do now is box them back up and give them back to the Land Rover garage. They can get them fitted back on next week. Please like and subscribe. If you've made it to the end, please say the word race car, and we'll see you in vlog 7, I think. Cheers, bye. Can we find the flat block? Where have I put the flat block? The first, let me just clean the lens. She dirty.